Hey, Riot Podcast, y'all.
It is podcast time, and it's a new podcast.
First podcast of 2020.
Yay.
Like, first new one, anyway. So in the podcast today, we just catch up a little bit. Find out about Nicky's trip to Disney.
We were on vacation, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the best of, worst of 2019 from last year's RIOT.
Yeah, we had some presents waiting. Nicky brought me some from...
Jen.
Yep. And then Trent.
He sent us a gift.
Something.
That was so nice.
That's in the podcast. Thanks for sending that stuff today. We talk Frozen 2, Depression Lights, Alexas, Disney Pluses, RadioU, Wawa pretzels and cheeses.
Lots of is today.
Man, that cheese, though. You'll hear about it, but daggone.
Did you have a lot or a...
I don't know how much I have.
Okay. You forget yourself?
Well, I mean...
Obi is dairy...
Things happened.
Obi's dairy-free, and, with the holidays, you just forget sometimes.
You forget yourself.
Yes, you do.
Forget your priorities. Forget stuff. So, well, hey, you guys enjoy the podcast. Man, stop by, say, hey, you know what I forgot to do? I had people ask us, like, hey, tell us what you want us to talk about, blah, 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 on Facebook. We got a ton of responses. Didn't even touch them.
Well, that maybe is for tomorrow's podcast, right?
I'm totally going to put those in tomorrow's show. So that'll be a thing.
So if you posted there, you can join us at RadioU Riot. That's our Facebook page. It's worth still adding if there's something you're doing for January, or if you had something fun for Christmas or New Year's, post it there, and we will put that as a topic tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. So you guys have a great Monday. And remember, don't eat and please don't drink
it's a blank thing, so that whatever you fill in with whatever your resolution is, you can know not to do it.
There you go. So have a great day.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know what, Nicky? I would really like to hear about your trip to Florida.
I went to Orlando.
You went to Disney World.
I did. I went to the Magic Kingdom.
Everything you dreamed it could be and so much more.
Kind of. It was so crowded. I'm just going to tell everybody, don't go the day after Christmas. Never, ever, ever.
Why?
Because everybody was like, let's go. It's the day after Christmas. And there I was with it.
Disney had some big crowds between Christmas and New Year. In fact, New Year's Eve, they had to start turning people away.
Yeah.
They were like, we're at capacity. And just to let you know, Disney's capacity is... as long as there's still room for you to stand on top of another person.
You can still get in.
You can still get in.
Well, at first you tell yourself, like, no, it's going to be fine. And, you use the app so you can see the wait times. And we went very early on the day after Christmas. Or no, I guess it's 2 days after Christmas. And I kept looking. I was like, wow, they're just getting so big. The line, wait.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun. But we really couldn't hit our stride to get on rides until, I would say,
midnight?
10 o'clock in the evening.
PM?
In the evening. Because it had just kept raining. It rained a lot in the afternoon, so we just had ponchos. Yeah, it was perfect.
That's great.
And
how long was the poncho line?
I got that.
I waited in line for 2 hours to buy this $100 poncho.
No, we got that at Walmart the day before because I saw it was supposed to rain, so we brought those in. But it was pretty much by 10 o'clock. We're like, no, we can go get all this stuff done. Started going really around. But everything until then would be, I don't know, maybe hour and a half wait, 2 hours.
Yeah. Those are great, and it's great too. The lines are just, it's fun to be there the whole time.
So bad for everybody because you could just, as the day went on, people were just mad.
Oh yeah,
everybody gets so mad and they're grumpy and they're grouchy, and we're all just trying to make it because everybody paid, a lot to get in. You're all just trying to enjoy the park and stuff. But it was great, it was fun. But that is not the time to go.
I'll just tell you right now. It's not the time to go.
I don't know when it is.
There isn't.
Is there ever? Eric was like, let's go 3 or 4 weeks later, after a holiday, and maybe it'll be less busy.
I have heard. I went first week of December. Mm-hmm. That's the last time I went. And I felt like it was a pretty good time to be there. Like it was, there's never a time that's not busy. There's only slightly less busy.
Yeah.
And so it didn't seem too bad to me. And I've heard that. Is it like there are certain times in January, but every other time is busy all the time?
Well, it was something. I think I even texted you, like, even the line to the bathroom was just stupid. It's just like, fine,
Nikki
I'm not going.
She messaged me. She's like, the wait line to the bathroom is 30 minutes.
I'm just so mad.
But that's a
Everybody's
fun
so
ride, though.
mad.
Yeah.
No. And they should put the times for the bathrooms on the app, too. They should have that.
It is true. Like if you want to find like adults that are just angry.
Mad.
They're just angry.
Mad, yep.
Like, go to Disney. It's full of angry parents.
You know it's the Jungle Boat ride, which don't go. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to because it's supposed to be like Christmassy, and it's not. It's just they put lights on the boats, and I fell for it. But that was a long wait, and it's one where you just kind of shuffle in line back and forth. It was like 10-ish, and everybody's hot. It was so humid. And I just told Eric, I was like, this is sadness right here. We're all really sad at the happiest place on earth. We're all very shuffling through this line to get on this boat.
We paid $150 a piece to wait in line for 3 hours to take a ride in a boat that lasts 120 seconds.
And then at the end of the boat, something was wrong. So the guy just had to keep stalling until everybody could go in. And it was just like, no, we're done. Please bring us back. Please bring our boat back.
Pull the boat over, sir.
Okay, but it was still a good time, but it was just the wrong time to go.
You're selling it.
Yeah, I had fun, but wow.
The more you talk about it, the more I think, man, I really wish I had been there. Mostly just to watch you, but
just a long day, a very long day.
So worth it, though.
Totally worth it.
We're going back next year. We're saving money now.
Can I go on Christmas?
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So Nikki and I have been gone. We are back, and we did come back to some packages.
It's nice. Feel free to text us. Let us know, how was your break? If you had a break, how is your time back? Because you're back today. Let us know. 877-2-RADIO-U.
So, Nikki, this actually, you hand-delivered this.
I did. I met Jen and her husband in Orlando, and she's been longtime listener, podcast listener, and she had a gift for you.
All right. So it's wrapped in this very clever like Star Wars wrapping paper, and it says, Obadiah, please open on the air.
And they listen during the podcast, so we'll make sure this gets added to the podcast.
Hey, it's a toy lightsaber, I think.
I thought it was based on.
Okay, now, I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way, but there's the way...
There's what?
The way it was wrapped.
Yeah.
There was really only so many things that it could be.
So is that a Disney one?
It is. It looks like it's... Okay, you fling it. Nice. And look, it has a where you would turn it on for your Jedi powers. It has a Mickey Mouse instead.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I think it seems like it's supposed to like fire up, but maybe the batteries are dead.
Do you need to push the button?
Wait.
There it is. There it is.
Holy gee.
Sound like Mickey.
That's cool, dude.
Well, that was super nice of them.
Yeah, and like I said, it's got Mickey Mouse all over it, so it's like it's as if Mickey had his own lightsaber. Well, I'll tell you where that's going. It's going downstairs. I have a little
area in your desk.
I have an area where things like this go, and it's going to go right there. That's awesome. So thanks to them. And then, Nikki, we got this in the mail.
Yeah, what's that?
This is addressed to us from Trent in Heath, Ohio. Oh, this is perfect. Actually,
is it a calendar?
Tell them what it is.
It's a National Day calendar. Celebrate every day. Official source for fun and unusual, unique days.
Okay, so let's see.
Cute.
Trent says, Dear Obie and Nikki, please enjoy the calendar I sent you. It lists unusual and unique holidays. I was going to get you an almanac because I know how much you all would like it. See, I'm almost good at sarcasm like Obie.
Perfect.
Anyway, please enjoy the calendar.
Hey.
Happy New Year. Bless you all, Trent.
Nice. Because sometimes
Thank you, Trent.
We always mention we never find out when it's a holiday.
We're always behind.
Yeah, like you didn't know it was National Donut Day, and we find out like 3 days later.
Yeah, and well, this calendar lists the national days. That is, you know what that is? That's a very useful gift.
It's a practical gift.
It is.
And we never get really, truly, like, practical gifts? I mean, the lightsaber is, I guess.
Nikki, you know, in your fight against the forces of evil.
We can't use that every day, can we? But the calendar we can.
Yeah, so that's, well, I mean, you can't use it every day.
You can.
I will have uses for this.
It was Trent who sent that?
Yeah, so
thank you
Trent.
both. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so, and, you know, if anybody, actually, people were super generous this year. We got all kinds of like boxes and like unique stuff. So thank you
for thinking of us,
everybody, for doing that. We appreciate that.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know, your teachers seem like grown-ups. You're like, oh yeah, they're grown up, and somewhere on the inside, even if you don't respect them, or you don't, like, they aren't your role model, there's part of you somewhere that's like, okay, you know, I'm supposed to grow up to be like them, but it's all a lie.
They're human. Well, no, I don't even want to say they're human too, and this is not something I feel like we should be doing.
Well, okay, here's what I find myself thinking is that I just think growing up is an illusion. Maturity is an illusion. It's not real. It's something we talk about. It's something we pretend about.
No, some of us live that life.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. This isn't the norm.
You're telling me that if I followed you around all the time, I wouldn't find little passive aggressive.
Not like this. No, not like this.
But it's the same.
It's not. It's actually not.
Here's what we have.
Not like this guy.
Jeff Churchwell of Whitewater, Wisconsin, for the last 2 years has finally found what he needs to get by.
2 years. That's a habit.
He's 60 years old, and he has a nearly daily habit of a couple of times a day, he drives over to this park, and that's where he goes to the bathroom.
Oh, no, not that one.
All right. I'm going to use their word. He defecates on a park building.
For a couple of times a day for the last 2 years.
A day.
They say that he would not clean up toilet paper also, so that was even left there, and people have been trying to figure out who this person was.
That's the part that gets me right there, is that kind of pre-planning. If you told me, like, you were out running, you're out whatever, you're like, I got so sick, oh gosh. Like, ew, but okay.
Now, this is 2 years of doing this.
This is two years of bringing toilet paper. He brings toilet paper. Like, he's planning ahead.
So he told authorities, because he got caught in October, and they said at first it was convenience, and then he actually said it's to be disrespectful. The 60-year-old teacher's saying, yeah, it's to be disrespectful that he's doing this at the park.
I told Nikki that this man has, like, the first time this was probably an accident, but now after that first time, he was like, I've never felt this good.
It must be a rush. It's like a drug. It's like a high.
I've never felt more alive.
Because why would you do that for 2 years, several times a day? He was addicted to pooping in the park. And I didn't know that's a thing.
You know what? He didn't know it was a thing.
He was stuck in that lifestyle.
He was. He's probably glad he got caught.
He probably was like, if only I could make it to January, and then my resolution will be not to poop in the park.
I'm going to stop doing that. Oh, they caught me in October.
Couldn't make
I was almost there.
I just can't. I can't even handle it. I couldn't even talk to this guy. Be like, why did you do this?
I've never felt more alive.
Gosh.
I needed to know that I was alive. I needed to feel something. And then one day I found it.
2 years
there in the park.
2 years. So he has to pay some fines. Not enough, I feel like. But he has to pay $365 in fines, plus almost $6,000 in restitution to the Public Works Department, who's had to clean up after him.
That right there is what I think. I think that he has to go. He should have to go and apologize and look in the eye every park employee that has had to clean up after this man. Just like look at him. And he has to clean the bathrooms in the park for 2 years.
That's bad. Well, no, because, I mean, this guy's not even using the bathroom at the park.
I know, but he should be as close to, you know.
I want to speak to someone who works at a park, because I feel like park pooping.
It's a thing.
It's a thing that it's not even in our world. We have no idea, but I bet you people do it.
Oh, it's.
Because I know how our world is.
Well, apparently.
And this guy is the tip of the iceberg. I bet there's so many more.
These are our teachers.
I know.
That are out there doing this.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from watching you. If I was like, what's this guy teaching? He teaches a class called Political Rhetoric, which that actually brings it into sharper focus. Because if you really take a look at politics these days, sure. If you told me, name any politician, and you told me they were a park pooper, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what, though? we never know when you're going to fall into something. So I just want to hold ourselves accountable that from this moment on, we're not going to end up, down the road being 60-year-olds doing this at the park. We have to keep our eyes focused and not fall into that.
I just needed something.
I just wanted something. What's wrong with people?
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So I just turned off what I now refer to it as my interrogation light.
What do you mean? Your light.
It's my sad light, seasonal affective disorder, winter depression, blah, 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 whatever.
Some of them are like a light
box. Mood light.
Yeah.
Light therapy, et cetera, et cetera. And I've had a lot of people ask me about it. In fact, I feel like I had more people asking me about it this fall than I ever have before. So I bought, I can't remember the name of the company, but if you really want to know what it is, if you text or Facebook message or something, I'll send you a link to it and you can
a
get a
lot
look
of
at
people
it.
Start feeling the effects of SAD,
Yes.
the disorder with it in January and February, but you're supposed to start using a light box in early fall.
Well, it
through
starts
the whole time.
It starts affecting you way earlier than you think. It's just it gets bad enough in January that you really start to notice.
Christmas covers it up.
It does.
The holidays can cover it up, or the stress from the holidays then starts really hitting it in January.
So I went, a lot of people ask me like, hey, does it actually work? And okay, the problem with medicine that works is that after a while, you're like, I don't need this medicine. Dumb. Because you forget that the reason you feel better is because whatever, whether you're getting more sleep, whatever you're doing is what makes you feel better. So once you stop feeling better. So over our Christmas vacation here, I had probably 5 days where I didn't use my light at all.
Did you notice it?
I did.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning and I had this thought where I was just like, I don't even know what the point of it all is anyway.
And that's one of the signs when you're supposed to turn it back on.
I don't even know why we're here. What's this all for? And I was like, you know what? I haven't used my light. And it was like, it occurred to me like, I don't think I've used this since like Christmas Eve. And we're headed towards New Year's now. And I was like, oh yeah. So I got my light out and it took 2 days.
Can I get back into it?
But then it was like, okay, we need to use the light, guys. Let's keep using that. Every morning.
Well, then it's good to know that it's working.
It is. And the way I found out it was working, by not using it. So
now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know that you do need it.
Knowing is half the battle. So yes, for those of you that are wondering, does it really work? I think it does. I think it helps. I mean, it doesn't fix it, but it certainly helps.
Well, for it, it's not a bad thing to try.
No. And I think if you're wondering, you're like, I can get a light bulb for $3.
No, you should get an official one.
This is like $100. So, which is, the price has really come down because when I bought it, it was almost $200.
Well, if you want a link for the one that Obi uses, like you mentioned, if you just text 877 to RadioU, he'll send it to you.
Yeah, I got to look it up. What's this thing called? Sky lamp.
We'll send it to you if you need it.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
One thing I thought I would do more of on vacation was go to the movies. Like, I had this image of me going to the movies a whole bunch.
Yeah, didn't you join the...
AMC Stubbs A-List?
You went back to that?
Okay. I only went, now total, I've gone 2 times since I bought that. So this month it's paid for itself. In fact, more than paid for itself because my ticket prices were like $16.
Sure.
So instead of $32, I paid $20.
But I know going into the holiday break, you thought you were going to go see more.
I did. I thought I would use it more. But oh my gosh, this was not what I was going to tell you, but I have to tell you this. I made this joke to a friend of mine. We were going to the movies again. I was like, now, when we get there, you'll probably notice that I get a lot of preferential treatment. And that's because I'm an Stubbs A-List member.
Oh, it comes with the program. Is that it?
So we walk up to the concession stand.
Yeah.
There's a huge long line on the right.
Do not tell me you can go to the left.
Oh, yeah.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can.
You can skip the line?
Yes, you can.
Oh, my gosh. It's like it's airport screening.
It was.
It's like your TSA approved.
I got in the left lane there, and the other line walked right up. I mean, there had to be 20 people in line, and I just walked right up.
On the other side.
And they scanned my thing, and it's like, what can we get for you, whatever, and I was out.
Oh, no.
And I was kidding. I had no idea that was a thing. And, it was a thing, Nikki. It was... It's the only time.
See, guys, do you see the preferred treatment that I get?
Well, it's the only time in my life I've ever received first-class treatment, so I was just like, well...
I get to go in this line. Now, you had to pay monthly for it, but at least you get to be in the line.
It's fine. Now, I wasn't there for Frozen 2, but apparently a lot of you were, because Frozen 2 has now become the highest-grossing animated film of all time.
So what was the second one, then?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm just curious what it took over.
You know, Nikki, I
always ask those questions. I think that's a good question to ask.
It is a good question, but I don't know.
Was it the first Frozen?
It passed Frozen, actually. The first Frozen was at, $1.281 billion.
Million.
Why did... No.
So with the latest box office numbers, Frozen 2 surpassed the first Frozen, which made $1.281 million, and Incredibles 2 that brought in $1.243 million.
No, that's wrong.
They put that in there wrong?
Those are misprints, because if you tell me that your movie has made $1.3 billion and it just surpassed the $1.2 million mark,
sure, it must be a mistake in it.
That's a misprint right there.
So the Lion King from last year, it's also grossed $1.65 billion, but Disney does not consider that to be
animated.
It's a live action remake, not an animation. Even though it was all computer generated, it's in limbo. It's in that in between.
Yeah, it is. So right now they say they have the highest grossing animated film of all time in the form of Frozen 2, beating out Frozen and Incredibles 2. Also their movies.
It eats itself. Like, it's just beating itself.
Yeah. The only thing that I would say about that, though, is that with, what was I going to... I forget what I was going to say.
It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever. I was going to talk about the rising price of tickets. So, Incredibles 2 made all of that money, but, ticket prices are higher than they used to be. My $16 ticket to The Rise of Skywalker was, I don't know, I guess what did I pay?
That's probably still about.
That's probably about.
You're in the same.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same ballpark, whatever. So, no, Nikki, that's not how much I paid. With my $20 monthly, I get 3 movies a week, and I can skip the line at the concession stand.
Well, now it's totally worth it. Had no idea.
Dude, I'm telling you what, membership has its privileges.
Yeah, the problem is, though, still, you're running out of actual movies you want to go see. You're in January.
Not yet.
You're in January now, and that's a real low time when it comes to what gets released.
You know what? You're right. In fact, in just a second, let me tell you something I discovered last night about the January docket when it comes to movies.
The only morning show brave enough to say that Chicken McNuggets are part of a balanced breakfast. The Riot on RadioU.
I don't think there's any way that Nikki and I are going to top what we talked about earlier in the show today. We found the story of a man. He's 60 years old. He's a teacher.
They call him a retiring teacher because I think once this got out...
He has to retire.
I think so.
Yeah. He's from Wisconsin, and he's a public park pooper. And so what he does is he found himself a park where...
He's a PPP.
He is. He's a triple P.
He's a triple P.
He liked to go every day, once or twice a day, to, and I quote, defecate on a park building. He would take toilet paper, everything.
But leave it there.
He would leave it there. And I couldn't help but, today there's a lot of inspirational quotes that are floating out there to try to get you ready for this new year, new you. Because even though technically, New Year's Day was last week.
Yeah, but not everybody starts that until today, because today's like your first Monday, first full week, first thing back. So today's like usually the main day for starting it.
Yeah. Now, I want to read you this quote from somebody named Priscilla Ransom. And I want you to think about, I don't want you to think about you. I don't. I want you to think about the public park pooper. Okay?
Those type of people.
Here's the quote. Be so proud of yourself for how you handled this year. I don't know about you, but I fought so many silent battles. I had to humble myself, wipe my own tears.
Oh, not what you were thinking.
Pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had to do the same. Be proud of you.
Now, I don't know if everybody should be proud of all of our choices that we made.
You know what, Nikki? I reject that negativity.
You think so?
I do. I reject it. You know, Nikki, a lot of us, we had so many silent battles. And
He wasn't.
He didn't
Twice a day he's going.
He didn't say anything.
How is he even going that much? That's a lot.
That's fiber.
I don't know.
It's a lot of fiber.
And he said he was doing it out of spite, like just to be mean.
Spite pooping.
Yeah. So I don't know if what she's saying matches up to how he was living his life.
I had to humble myself, wipe my own tears, pat myself on the back. I'm sure you had to do the same. Be proud
of the choices.
You.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of you, public park pooper.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You fought so many silent battles. He fought so many silent battles, Nikki.
Not a blanket statement for everyone.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. He is out of the running.
I feel like there's a lot of judgment. And so
I think it's okay to throw judgment on some things, and that's one of them.
Okay, well, here we go.
I think there is a line, and that's where he was pottying on, and so we can call him out on it.
Well, let's see what NF has to say about it. Paid my dues.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So one of the things I did over Christmas break, and it's about to get really nerdy up in here, but I need some of you nerds to sound off for me, so get ready to text 877-2RadioU. So I got a new TV, and after
you got the TV
like back Black Friday.
Yeah, so that was back in November.
And in reality, I've had very little time to mess with it at all. And so I have an Apple TV 4K. I love that thing. For real. And I did all this wire management. I bought new HDMI cables because I was having a couple of issues with Dolby Vision and all this stuff. And here's what I found out. That my TV and the Apple TV 4K, they don't like each other. Aww. And in fact, it's like a known thing. Like if you own this TV, you know that there is something about the Apple TV 4K and your TV that they don't like each other.
Did you not see that when you were looking through it, though?
Did that even remotely occur to me? Like, oh, I should go see that this works with...
I didn't know if that was like a top comment concerning the TV.
I'd never seen it. So what happens is it totally works, except depending on what you're watching, the audio and video might be off. So the lip sync is off. So you're watching it.
And that's the worst.
And it's real inconsistent. So sometimes it'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it'll be like off a whole lot. And then it'll be back to being okay, and then the audio will be early and the lips will be late, or the lips will be way early and then the audio will be... It's like all over the place. I can't take that.
And there's nothing you can do? Because sometimes my Roku will do that, and then you just got to let it catch up.
Well, I have done all kinds of stuff. Like, I have
updates,
like formats, updates,
rebooted,
firmwares, reboots, unplugs, count to 30, plugs back in, new cables, like on and on and on. This is not happening.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to replace it.
Your Apple TV or your TV?
The Apple TV.
The Apple TV.
Mostly because I've bought a bunch of movies on iTunes, but iTunes is now available on other boxes. And so I have looked at a Roku Ultra, which has iTunes on it, and then also the Amazon Fire Cube, which also has iTunes on it.
You liked your Apple TV.
I do. I like it a lot.
Did.
And in fact, I'll probably end up selling it, which is a bummer because I really do like the thing. But it basically works with every TV in the world except the one that I purchased.
Yeah, but your poor Apple TV is like, it's been there for you. It's not its fault.
I know.
It's the TV's fault. The TV is the one that should go.
I know, but I'll just tell you, as someone that has recently returned a TV, that little Apple box is way easier to swap out than a TV is.
Yeah. Well, now it knows what you actually think about it.
Yeah, sometimes being fat has its advantages.
It's already on the wall.
You're hard to move around, so you just get to stay.
And they're going to just remove the other thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Aww.
I'm just wondering if anybody's ever played with an Amazon Fire Cube and if you like it. The one thing I've seen that I like about it is it's a universal remote. So it's voice command, and it'll turn everything on and off for you if you want it to. You can turn the volume up and down, all that crap, and it'll do all that for you. So that's pretty good.
That's it, right? Just talk yourself into it.
But I'm just saying, if anybody has one, you should let me know. 877-2-RADIO-U. Oh, I guess if anybody wants to buy an Apple TV.
Look at that. You're just wheeling and dealing, aren't you?
I'm just going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. It breaks my heart. I love that stupid little box.
I think it's too soon. We're not ready yet for you to do that. You love that little thing.
I do.
And now this TV comes on in and causes problems.
Everybody hates the remote. I like the remote. I think the touchpad on the remote is cool.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Do you have any resolutions? Is that...
Oh, no, just make better choices. Blah, blah, blah.
Like, what kind of choices?
Well, I mean, we try to work out every morning before the show.
We did that today.
I did not do that during break, so
No? Okay.
We're back at it. And then more water and just, better life choices.
I worked out by most days. I went to the gym twice, and it was mostly running. There was one day where I felt like it might be icy, so I was on an elliptical in my dark, dank basement. So that was a lot of fun. That was good. But yeah, you know what though? I'll say if you want to avoid the early morning, everybody's, trying out the gym for the first 2 weeks of the year crowd, man, I didn't feel like the 4:45, 5 a.m. crowd was too big.
It was not, but when you hit 5:30, that's when everybody was coming in. Because that's when we usually leave the gym to get to work in time to start the show. And I noticed, I was like, wow, that is the New Year's crowd.
It totally was. So just a heads up, and I'm sure you're probably already doing this. Just go to the gym before 5:30 a.m.
Perfect.
And you should be fine.
Because then I saw everybody come in. I was like, resolution. It's all resolutions.
Man.
So we'll see how long everybody lasts or if they migrate later in the day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure at night it's got to be slammed, right? And we'll see. It is typically, they say, between now and Valentine's Day, there's kind of this slow attrition of people leaving in the gym. And if you get to Valentine's Day, the Monday after, everybody's gone.
When I got there this morning, I thought, it's just as empty as it normally is about this time. But you noticed when it changed.
Yeah, I did the Planet Fitness 30-minute express workout or whatever.
You did, yeah.
I do that on the days where my brain can't face it. I'm just like, I can't think through a workout. Just get on the machine and push. Fine, whatever.
That's all I got to do.
There was nobody in there. It was empty. So, whatever.
They were too intimidated because you were in there.
That's what it was.
They're like, I can't possibly go in while this man is working out.
There. I can't stop staring at him. I can't be in there.
Made everybody uncomfortable, so they had to stay out.
No, I was just surprised. I actually, on my way in, I thought, dude, it's going to be slammed. There will be people everywhere. No. As just like with driving early in the morning, if you go early enough, nobody's there.
That never gets crowded then.
Oh.
The Riot is to your ears what all those energy drinks are to your liver.
For the love of God, please stop. I can only process so much.
The Riot, RadioU.
Show of hands, how many people want to shower with Alexa?
You mean...
Considering that Alexa is one of our nighttime hosts, that gets a little weird.
It doesn't work that way, but what you mean is the device.
Right.
Is that it?
Have you ever said to yourself, if only I could take this Echo Dot into the shower with me to keep me company?
I guess they're not waterproof then. That would make sense. But now they are?
They've teamed up with Kohler. Is that how you say it? The people that make bathroom products, like Kohler. They have a new shower head. It has Alexa built into the shower head.
Great. That's what we needed. This whole time, that's what we needed.
So
what are you going to tell it? Does it change the temperatures and stuff or play music?
It does whatever you want it to do, I guess. Like all the stuff. Okay, the speaker is tuned for bathroom spaces so it can be heard over the noise of the shower. It has tactile control buttons and cordless charging, which I guess part of it you'll have to... It's not like you're going to run electricity to the thing, so you're going to have to pick it up, drop it somewhere to charge, and then put it back on. Playback time between 6 and 7 hours is what they're saying.
So just about one shower.
Oh, now that's a shower I can get behind.
Well, you know, when it's very early in the morning, you just lose track of time.
Yeah, you do. So that I don't know if that would make my shower time better or worse. I mean, you could set a what do you call it? Like a timer in there. So you could say like Alexa set timer 6 minutes, and the timer goes on, and then you've got that long, and then you've got to
do that,
get cleaned up and get out.
It looks pretty good.
Then again, the bad thing would be is that I go in there, and since we all know I can't sleep in the shower, I just go into the shower and I'm like, it's cool, I'll set an alarm.
It's fine.
That's probably not a very good idea. Oh my gosh. So they're saying that it will be between $99 and $229, depending on the options that you choose, and that they are also going to be introducing, this is Kohler, some other Wi-Fi enabled smart home technology. And a lot of this will be seen at CES, which is happening this week. That's the Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah, it's a great time when you're going to get a lot of tech news this week. Mm-hmm. But they were saying that Kohler is teamed up also with Harman Kardon. So that's going to be doing the wireless speaker in the shower head.
Okay. So, well, Harman Kardon makes nice speakers. Who knows?
A tad overpriced for maybe.
Well, but $100 that's a shower head.
Harman Kardon.
Well, yes. Okay. Now
tad
that's true.
Overpriced than maybe what we usually go for.
That is true. So what do you think?
Looks good. I don't think I would need that.
Okay, it's not about need. Need is way out.
I don't think I'd even want that.
You don't?
That's not even something I thought, that'd be great. No.
You could have a speaker in the shower, and I will tell you, I mean, in the morning I shower at the gym.
Yeah.
But I do think it would be cool to be able to get in there. One of the things that I love about Google is that you can set up a routine for it where... what do you say, good morning or something like that? And it'll give you the weather. You can set up a news thing and it'll do all this stuff that it kind of gives you a morning brief.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Not, $200 for a shower head cool, but.
And then then you get your first water bill afterwards. Like, I am in there too long.
Wow.
So you got to notice that too.
Well, no, my thought is that if you had that morning briefing, would it wake you up?
Probably not.
And RadioU has an Alexa skill, so you could finally shower with the Riot.
Again, it sounds odd when you say it. You're saying it the wrong way.
What? How would you say it?
I don't know how.
Take the Riot into the shower with you?
That's even bad, too. It's just wrong. If you want to enjoy the music, let's just focus on the music.
Enjoy the sound of the Riot while you're in the shower?
That's a better way to put it.
That just sounds a lot more difficult to say. I just want it shorthand.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki apparently wants me to stop drinking this year.
Well, no, I just thought those were good tips in case someone was going to do that for your resolutions.
Dry January. So the idea is for the month of Dryuary, for the month of January, no alcohol, because you went so crazy during the holidays, you got to wrap it up, son. And here's what we found. This is from the people at Pop Sugar. They have 6 ways that you can successfully do Dry January, which, by the way, a lot of these will work for almost any goal.
I was going to say, if you just take that out and put in whatever your resolution is, it's the same.
They say your first thing you need to do is write it down. So you write down your goal and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. They say 2, assemble your A team. So this is a group of people that will help you stay on track. So you want to be around, it makes sense, be around some like-minded people that are like, hey, we're not going to do that. If you end up the designated driver at every party, eventually you're going to be like, wow.
You'll get tired of being the one. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to the first step. You're writing it down, but technically they say on social media and not bother people the entire month that you're doing it.
Right.
But in the beginning, it's especially important to state what you're doing so that people know. And then you might find some people who are doing the same thing and you can kind of do it together.
Number 3, they say purge your house. So if you got any alcohol in your house, you get rid of it. But again, if you got some cake in your house and you're like, I'm not eating cake this whole month, you got to get the cake out.
It works too.
4, fill your calendar. So the idea of don't let yourself default to that behavior. You got to make plans to do something else. And that way you can't fall back on it. 5, find a substitute. So what are you going to do? You're going to drink tea? You're going to drink soda? You're going to drink coffee? You're going to drink water? like whatever.
They say you want to have a backup.
Yeah, and then they say continue to remind yourself of your goal that you want to go. I will say this. I've had, I won't mention any names, but I've got a couple of friends and a couple of artists that I follow that have recently quit drinking, and they
said this changed their lives.
Yeah, like they just keep talking about what a huge positive impact it has had on their lives to stop drinking. To be completely honest, I've even been surprised by it. Like if you told me, I mean, if you were somebody that like had a real problem with these people, seemed a little more casual. Maybe they weren't as casual as I thought they were. But they have all come back and said like, yeah, not drinking has been one of the best things that I've ever done.
But I don't think they realized it was a problem until they stopped and took a break from it. And then a lot of them took a break for a little bit and then just kept going.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. 6 ways. That was specifically for Dryuary. But like I said, if you really look at it, you could apply those tips to just about anything you wanted to give up this month. The only thing I'll throw at you is this is Obadiah's tip number 7. Just pick one thing.
Baby steps, right?
Yeah,
one step.
Let's start with one thing, and then we build up to. You try to quit 20 things, you're not going to make it. Probably.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
It suddenly occurs to me I shouldn't be having this conversation with you. I should be having it with somebody else, because I'm starting to wonder if maybe it's time to go ahead and cancel Disney Plus for a couple of months.
And you don't want to talk to me about it?
Because, Nikki, you can't cancel until what, 2024?
I got like 3 or 4 years on it. So,
you're just
I prepaid for a 3-year package.
Right.
And it was super cheap. So it was fine.
It's fine.
But there's not a lot to watch, is there?
Not now.
Depends on what you watch. Like, I think if you like animated movies, then you must totally be in love with it.
But then, like,
I don't know how many of us are really into it.
How many times are you going to rewatch Sleeping Beauty? I've seen Milan 400 times since I subscribed to Disney Plus.
I guess I'm surprised that I don't know what their target is and what are they hitting with that.
The only thing I can think is like, hey, if you got kids, you're watching it. I mean, I was watching The Mandalorian, which I enjoyed enormously, but that's over now. Mm-hmm. And so,
but according to the 2020 promo, I mean, the second season will be there.
Right. But you have to ask yourself, like, I don't think they have another show or anything I'm interested in. Probably it's months and months and months away. Should I just cancel it and then come back to it later?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. So I guess.
Did you try the other channels? You know, like what's the ones that they also have? The National Geographic, or like, is there anything on the other stuff?
There actually is a couple of really interesting looking documentaries on National Geographic, but I haven't watched them yet.
That'll fill a month up. Just 1 month.
There you go. No problem. Just get into that. So I have thought about that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just time to just cut it.
Well, this is the time everybody does that.
Yeah.
It's time.
Because I will tell you, I need to make room for, I'm starting up a new streaming service later this month. Because when Picard hits, I'm getting CBS All Access. Oh, you're doing CBS All?
Well, yeah, you need to then cancel one out.
I need to see that. Maybe I just need one episode. Maybe I watch one episode and then I'm like,
that'll be enough.
This sucks.
Well, everybody now, if you're not doing Dryuary, like this is the time when people start doing budget stuff, and so you go through and you cut everything out that you can.
Yeah. All right. Well, I probably need to sit down and do like an audit of what I actually have subscribed to, because I know I've signed up for a couple of trials that I probably need to get cut off before we get any farther
Julia,
into it.
thanks for texting. She and her boyfriend watch Disney Plus all the time.
He loves Moana and Tangled.
So but again, it depends on what you like.
But how many times can you watch it? And then you're like, we watched Moana 3 times. And like,
there are people that absolutely watch it over and over again. What's the one that you always talk about? The Wrath of Khan? Big Trouble Little China.
Okay.
Like those movies, there's others that they have their like favorites they always go back to, but they're animated.
I'll bet you it's been at least half a year since I've seen Wrath of Khan. Mm-hmm. Or even maybe not that long on Big Trouble in Little China, but like it's been forever. So at that point, again, to me, and don't kill the messenger, but it's like, you know what? Just buy the one you want and then forget the rest. But they get their money either way, right?
No, you're still paying the money.
Rachel says cancel it.
Okay, well, now you got to decide.
Rachel's the only one.
The voice of reason with that.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got their stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
You know, I suppose at this point in 2020, we're supposed to be done looking back on 2019. And now we're just looking ahead to 2020. You're supposed to do your retrospecting, I think, between Christmas and New Year. And then in New Year, you're ready to look forward bravely into the future. And, Nikki, keep in mind, you can look back a little, but think about how small a rearview mirror is, okay?
Ooh, that's good.
All right? It's there, but you really need to be looking ahead.
Well, you're supposed to be saying your hopes and wishes and dreams for this year.
Right.
So that you get that out there.
But I'll just tell you, something that I learned about yesterday afternoon while I was working on the show that has really, it's just stuck with me. It's something that I've been spending a lot of time thinking about, and that is last year, somebody that a lot of us take for granted ended up getting a pay cut, and yet they continue to work that job, and they continue to be there for us day in and day out, being our president. And I'm, of course, referring to Tim Cook, the president and CEO of Apple.
He took a pay cut last year? I didn't know that.
He did, Nikki. Last year, he only made
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
I don't want to know.
Do you just want me to tell you what the pay cut was?
No, that'll hurt just as much because that's way more than everybody else is making, and that's just the pay cut.
That's fair.
No, fine. Tell me, what was it?
Okay, well, he lost out on about $11 million.
How much did he get for his salary?
Last year he made $125 million.
Whoa! What do you do with that?
So
wow, good for him.
Yeah, they say most of his compensation comes from Apple stock.
Oh, really?
So, they just
so
give
his
him
salary, they say, is about $3 million,
right?
And
but his stock is valued at
and his bonus declined by about $4.33 million. So that's why.
Yeah,
that's so much money.
It's tough out there.
That's exciting for him. That's just so exciting. And he didn't even have to pay for phones. He just gets a free phone too.
Oh yeah, no. When you reach that point, you don't even have expenses anymore.
Can you imagine? You're like, I'll take a new phone, or that really expensive MacBook thing, the Tower one.
Yeah,
that's
the $55,000.
Yeah, like, he just gets one. I just need a new laptop. He just gets a new laptop.
Are you kidding me? He's not even. No, he's too busy
to
use
even
an
have
iPhone. He's got a flip phone that only President Trump and a couple of other people, world leaders, have the number to. Other than that, he can't be bothered with texting.
He's got people.
He's got people that do his texting for him. He has people, if he has kids, he has people, they don't know their real dad. They have this guy that has been hired to be their dad. That's just the way that works.
Well, again, good for him to make so much money from last year.
It's wonderful. But again, my heart just goes out to him. So I was thinking, how do you feel about if we just take up, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but they call it a love offering. It's where someone works really hard and you just give. And you know what? You just give what you can. And then we'll anonymously
donate that.
We'll just give it to him and just be like, hey, Tim, come here, buddy. Listen, we took up a little collection at the radio station. And we just felt bad. We saw what happened to your bonus package last year. And I thought I'd get you this. Now, it's in an envelope. It's tax-free, of course. So
just a little something, something.
It's just a little something. So this should be enough to get you probably, half a cup of water at the restaurant you normally eat at.
But it's the thought that counts.
But, yeah. Think about somebody
I don't think he needs anything else. I still think he's fine, despite having the decrease in his bonus.
All right. You know what, Nikki? That's the kind of attitude that keeps people who need help from getting help.
Getting help, from reaching out.
Yeah, it keeps them from reaching out because everybody assumes Tim is fine.
No one's asking.
But he's really having a hard time right now.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nathan Fillion is his name. I can't say that I watched anything really recent from him, but he was Mal in Firefly, okay? There. I said it.
He was that guy. He was in Castle for a while.
He was in Castle, and now he's on The Rookie.
That's his show currently.
I actually think he's a great actor. He is one of those people that just has great on-screen presence.
Yeah.
Some people have that. He has that. I do enjoy watching him and stuff, even if I'm not, hugely into it or whatever. But during his Christmas vacation, Nikki, he got a large, and he called it a mistake, but it's a big back tattoo.
Why would he get that?
Of a snake.
Okay, and it's real? Oh, I see it.
I think it's real.
Well, I didn't know if it's for a role or something, and he's just making it look like it's real.
Also a possibility. He is an actor. They do pretend for a living.
Well, it's kind of like the what's his name? Ben Affleck. Like, he's got a huge back tattoo.
Right.
And in the beginning, everyone thought it was done for a role.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to get pictures of it later of like, no, this thing's real. Like, it's massive and it's real.
Now, and I realized since I am not a part of ink culture,
Yeah.
I am not a good person to make comments like this. But when I look at it, I don't know why this has been the one that's made me think about it, but a back tattoo. Like, what good's a back tattoo? Because
No, you're not seeing it?
you can't see it. So, I mean, you're taking it on faith that it's back there.
But if you want to get a large piece, I mean, that's really the best place to put it.
Okay, sure. But again, you never get to see it. You're in the mirror with a mirror. Mm-hmm. Like trying to look back like, oh, yeah, it looks good back there. It looks good. Wait, I got to swing left. Oh, there it is.
Listen, you just do it.
I know.
Okay?
I get
you just
it.
do it.
I get it. I totally get it. Et cetera, whatever. But just again,
just a place.
It's just like, hey, I want to get this piece of art. I can't really find a canvas. I'll put it on my back. I can't see it. But sometimes at night, when my skin gets irritated, I'm excited that it's there.
That there's something there.
I'm just like, oh, it's happening.
No, you're right. I mean, I have one on the back of my neck, and I can't see it unless I put my hair up. But
oh, no,
you still do it.
There's not a tattoo back there.
There is.
No, there's not.
What is it then?
It's gone.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
You don't know.
No, I do know it's still there, but you don't
know. You're taking it on faith right now.
That it didn't just go away?
You can't just look down and like, oh, it's there. No, you're like, no, this one time I paid for this thing, and one time I looked in the mirror, and I'm pretty sure it's there.
But it's a good place to put one if you're trying it out before you get a real estate location that's a little bit more noticeable.
So what, you're saying this is like a rental property before you buy?
Yeah, like if you're
Your
not...
back is the apartment of tattoos?
Yeah, if you're renting. If you're just keeping it back there, no one will really notice.
Just see how it goes?
Yeah, unless you're at a place where you wear clothing that shows it or a lack of clothing.
So, do you think I should start wearing like more cutout T-shirts?
Yeah, and then that shows the location of it.
So you can see my back tattoo?
That's done as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
So what did he get? He got the snake thing? Or?
Yeah, it's a snake. It's like a cartoon snake. Yeah.
I don't know if it fits his style. But
I have yet to find something that I look at and go, forever.
You got the forever piece?
I want that.
But see, he just puts his shirt on. What tattoo? No one will even know.
No, he doesn't even have to put his shirt on. He just walks away from the mirror and is like, I don't have a tattoo. What are you talking about?
It looks like the bottom looks like it's half snake, half octopus, just because of how the tail was drawn on it. But
it's
there
a snake.
You go.
It's a snake-to-puss.
Nathan Fillion got a large back tattoo over Christmas break.
Nathan says tattoos aren't renting. No. Nathan or Jonathan said that. Jonathan, it's a metaphor.
No, yeah, we're not meaning it like that.
Yeah,
but if you want to start off, it's your first time out of the house. You're now living in a place you want to try something out. You try it on a part of your body that is not going to be so noticeable for everybody.
Well,
it was
for
always
you,
where
you can forget about it.
Honestly, it was always where you could hide it from your parents seeing it, and so your back was the place to go.
Man, I still just can't. I understand that other people want them, but I just have never wanted a tattoo.
We'll click out of this one. That's not the right design for you. We'll find you something one day.
Yeah. Keep looking.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, RadioU.
All right, so Monday after New Year, blah, blah, blah. Have you made a resolution? Have you done a something or other? Well, here's a thought. I heard somebody say this over the weekend, and I was like, that's pretty good. I think I like that. Because let's face it, New Year's resolution is what? We identify a problem, something that we see in ourselves, and we're like, okay, it's time to make a change.
Work on it.
I'm gonna stop doing this, and I'm gonna start doing this, or I'm gonna stop whatever. Something's gonna change. I gotta change it. And they say statistically, something in the neighborhood of 10% of us will make it past Valentine's Day. And then we'll just be back to same old us.
Meaning your resolution, you won't be able to actually keep it.
Right. So here's the thing to think about. Have you talked to God at all about your New Year's plans? Because this idea, which I thought was a good one, is if you spend some time talking to God about it, like, hey, God, I think that what I really need to do is stop eating lemon heads. That candy that's so sour it makes me go, ugh. Do you think that should be what I'm working on this year, God? And God may say, no, you should double down on lemon heads, but you got to cut out the Mike and Ikes. I don't know, and that might just be an example. But there may be things in your life that you're not thinking about. You need an outside perspective. And God is smart. He made you. He loves you. He knows you. And I think today, maybe you've already made up your mind, whatever, but it seems like it would be a great idea to take a step back, talk to God about what you've got going on, where you're at in your life, and what you should be doing with this year. Look, if you don't have a relationship with him, that might seem a little daunting. It's not a big deal. You just start a relationship with God by saying, Jesus, I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to forgive me. I want you to show me a different way to live. And then, man, just talk to God about whatever the heck you got going on and get his input on, 2020 and see what he has to say about some stuff you should rework or not rework. Lemonheads, Mike and Ike's, right?
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
Nikki paraded herself in here today and has just been bragging about her vacation.
No, I was just telling you since you like the place too. I was like, I wanted to make sure you realized I went there.
So, when you talk about your vacation, Disney was one thing, but I think the thing we were all really excited about was that you went to the Orlando Wawa.
Actually, I went to
gas station.
I went to New Smyrna Beach, and that's where I went to one.
Oh, you mean you waited?
I
was
did.
Like, man, when I go to Florida, I'm at Wawa. As soon as I get out of the airport, I'm right there.
I think it's because we had a rental car and I didn't need to fill it up or anything.
Sure.
I didn't think about gas stations, but
if you get back on a soda habit,
then I would be thinking about it.
It would help you a lot.
But I drove to New Smyrna Beach, which is a place that I went to growing up a whole lot, and about ready to get into the town, and there was a Wawa's right there. Shining right on the side. I thought, we had a light lunch there.
Yes.
We picked some stuff up, took it to the beach, enjoyed it. I forgot how much I really love Wawa's. And I don't like gas stations food or just gas stations locally, but... Yeah. It's a really good one.
So what did you get?
I got, they have these soft pretzels.
Yeah. And
normally they used to be a lot bigger and they'd be at the front counter, but they have stuffed pretzels now and they were out of them. And so I asked
what were they stuffed with?
Like pizza or cheese and stuff. Okay. And I asked the lady, I was like, do you still have the soft pretzels though? And they did. They're just in a different section and they're kind of half the size they used to be. So I got two. I got two. But
which was really one.
Yeah, if you think about, if you knew what it used to be, it was one. And then we get a couple of, lunch items from the little counter thing.
Yeah.
But it was good. I was glad to be there.
Oh, man, Nikki.
But then I got in the car afterwards, no, I forgot. They had this, data breach thing where all their credit card information went everywhere. So I was actually telling myself, you need to pay by cash.
Pay cash.
But we bought too much stuff. I didn't have enough cash. I paid by credit card.
When you got your pretzel, did you get anything to dip it in?
No, I just like a normal straight pretzel. Yeah. This can actually be eaten alone.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a pretzel and a hot cheese. That's really good. I love that. Which reminds me, I went to a party while we were gone, and they had this cheese dip. And, I've pretty much given up on cheese.
Well, you're dairy-free.
Yeah, pretty much where I'm at. And I just decided to try it.
Yeah. Did it hurt?
No. First off, when I had it, I was like, there's never been anything that's tasted this good in the history of the universe. It's the best tasting thing that's ever happened. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat some of this.
You just didn't care?
It was a terrible mistake.
Aww.
I made poor choices, but I still can't decide, even though the consequences were dire.
Was it worth it, though?
Maybe.
Sometimes during the holidays,
so good.
You can make it work. You can just be okay with it.
If I could have one of those Wawa pretzels and that cheese dip.
And you have some days off afterwards, you're fine. Totally fine.
You gotta eat that on a Friday night, hoping you can make it on Monday.
That's why it's vacation food.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously, I ate it, and I was just like, I want to drink this. It's so good.
Give me a mug.
And you know what, quote unquote, giving up cheese, it's not like, it hasn't been that big of a deal. It's a little annoying at times, but it hasn't been like, oh, I can't live. I had my I can't live moment.
Aww,
when I tasted that cheese, I was
down.
like, oh gosh, I love you, cheese.
You wake up 5 days later. You don't know where you've been. Covered in cheese.
Covered in cheese.
Yep. You got to be careful.
Well, I'm just glad we had the time off. Because I'm okay
and
now.
We can't do that anymore, can we?
No. But let's not think about not being able to do it, because pretty soon we'll be like, I can't. I shouldn't.
Maybe just a little.
I probably won't. Okay, a little. I'm all in. It's not a good journey, guys.
And you're like, I think I have to go to the doctor now.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Name any politician and you told me they were a park pooper, I'd be like, oh yeah.